Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I'm back with another video here on the Flyers. Since the first 3 games of the season and the first time ever in franchise history that they swept the California road trip and won 3 games, are on a 3-game winning streak, and they beat the Anaheim Ducks tonight by a final score of 4-1 here in game number 38. Really good game. Just honestly just a good team effort. As you notice here on the stats board, I have a handful of Flyers here, and not even in the sense of like, you know, I don't want to like limit the board that I put up to only like 1 or 2 guys, because I thought a lot of guys played good tonight. I like Konechny, I like Cates, I like Frost, Farabee, right, whoever. Those are the 4 I picked. But Kevin Hayes, I thought had a good game. Ristolainen, I thought had a good game. Kind of just trying to go by points wise, things like that. Frost had a goal, 4 shots. Farabee goal and assist. I think you kind of get the gist of it. So I wanted to kind of spread the love around a little bit. And I thought in this game the Flyers kind of spread the love around a little bit. There was goals by pretty much everybody that you kind of wanted. Everybody that's been playing well. Lines in this one, if it names like with Frost and Tippett, Farabee with Cates and Konechny, Hayes with Lawton, Allison, Delorier with Brown and McEwen, Sanheim with D'Angelo, Provorov and Ristolainen, York and Braun. So Provorov Risto was the first pair, and then York gets slotted down to the third pair. I didn't really love that, honestly. I have liked how Ristolainen's played. I thought he had a good game tonight. Really, since coming back, and the Sharks game, last 3 games, just the line I think has actually been really good. Penalty kill, he's had some big moments, a couple block shots, some just good plays overall. Penalty kill, he's been great the last 3 games. Overall, defensively, he's been beaten a couple times, but he's recovered. I think he's played well. Urson, again, fantastic in this game for the Flyers. And early on, the Flyers' defense was really active. They jumped in a lot of plays. Sanheim had a chance maybe 15 seconds in from the high slot off of a tip. Then the Flyers would get a power play. Frost broke through, almost scored. Didn't get too much of a shot off. There was no call. I was surprised. But that's the stuff you want to see from Frost. The one area I think he has struggled in this year has been the entry on the power play. And him getting in like that and being able to just separate himself a little bit. And that was exactly what he did. There was no call. But again, that's the stuff you want to see, because sometimes he's kind of giving off a pass. It's kind of like a hand grenade to either Konechny or Hayes or whoever. And sometimes they just failed entries. And this is a play where he saw the space, noticed it, got through. Flyers didn't get any goals on this power play, but they had a couple of looks, and then Farabee would make it 1-0 for the Flyers. It was a play that deflected in front. It was a nice play by Cates to kind of realize the puck went all the way up in the air and then found it, and then just sent it right over Farabee. Held on a little second, a little extra second, and he finally scores. He had 1 goal in his last 15. Was so good for Farabee to score. He's been a guy that's very inconsistent, I guess you could say, and the injury's part of that, and I think some just overall play is mixed in. I don't think he's been great. The Ducks had a chance after the goal, which has been a thing all year. Zegras, easily the best Duck tonight. He had a chance off the rush. Really nice save by Urson, and then Frost scores. Beautiful play. And these are the things that Frost does that I love so well, is that he's able to disguise the defenseman and get his shot off. And before, the shot wasn't hitting the net, it was either getting blocked or it was a save. This time, they're going in. It was a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot, high blocker. And Gibson looked a little deep in his net. Frost took advantage of it. 2-0. Just a really nice play overall. I thought, the Flyers, I thought, for most of the first period, really limited the Ducks to anything offensively. They did get a power play after off of D'Angelo took a slashing penalty. Urson had a really nice save through traffic on Zegras. And I think the one thing that I've noticed about Urson, and I said this before, he's very calm. Like, he's a very calm goaltender when things get in around his net. And even stopping pucks through traffic looks easy to Urson. Like, this sequence from Zegras, there was traffic in front, and he saw it all the way. Like, there have been many instances that I have seen where he's been very good in tight or shots through traffic, whatever. And just overall, the Flyers did a good job of keeping things to the outside. They did get a power play late. Again, Frost had a pretty nice like double clutch, and he's been able to do that where he kind of like holds on for a second. We saw in the Columbus game where he scored. He held on, realized he had a little bit more time. This time gets a high shot off. Then Konechny had a chance in tight. Then the Ducks would get a power play. Brown with a tripping call. Overall, just a good period. The Flyers cut off the first minute 35 of that. 25 seconds go over into the second. Good period overall. I mean, you dominated in shots. You had more offensive chances. You won a good majority of puck battles. And I think the one thing was they created a lot of chances off the forecheck. And that was most of this game overall. Second period, Flyers killed that off. The difference in the second period was the fact that the Flyers had a couple good shifts early. One from the Frost line. They had a couple nice plays keeping pucks down low. I like Tippett's game today, even though he didn't end up scoring or get any points. He had no points on the day, but he had the good game in LA with the goal. I thought he had a good game today as well. Obviously, again, didn't get any points, but just overall that similar type of stuff. The Flyers, again, they won many puck battles, and then they end up scoring here 3-0 Konechny. Beautiful play on the 2-on-1 from Hayes. Hayes, again, I love when Hayes is able to slow plays down. I talked about that many times, how I just... There's a certain element to Hayes' game that he has, that he slows the game down more than pretty much anyone. And, there's been times where it's worked, there's times where it doesn't work, and this time it works, and, I didn't put him on the stat board, but again, he had 2 assists, and he had a good game as well. Again, the love was kind of spread around everybody. Then the Ducks would get a power play on some roughing call with Delorier, and I'm surprised, the refs were very bad in LA, I will say that. I didn't love some of the calls in that game. This one didn't make much sense. Strome ended up hitting the post, and after that, it was really all Ducks in that period. Urson had a nice save on Comtois, then another one on Zegras and Type, probably one of Urson's best saves of the game. Flyers had a pretty good shift after the TV timeout, and then York takes a penalty. That's his third penalty in the last 3 games. And again, it's not like York's playing bad, but you definitely want to stay out of the box. Ristolainen had a nice play on the penalty kill off a nice pass from Zegras, and that's kind of a play where you'd see Ristolainen do that, and you think to yourself, okay, here we go. Ristolainen against Zegras, it probably 8 times out of 10, that's probably a chance in tight or a goal. But Ristolainen did a good job of breaking it up, and there's been times where Risto's gone overcommitted, and he has the tendency to take himself out of the play, where this time he kind of stayed back a little bit and broke the pass up, ended up getting it down for the Flyers, and he's done a really good job of just, when he's had the puck on the penalty kill, he's gotten it all the way down the ice. There has been no turnover or anything. It's gone literally down to the other end board, or maybe the goaltender goes back and stops it, or whatever. You get my point. And again, just overall, he's had a good trip. In the third period, I thought it was kind of back and forth a little bit. Flyers kind of kept the forecheck going. They were just creating so much havoc, and a couple nice plays here by the Konechny line with Cates on that, and then Tippett had a chance in tight after from behind the net, almost scored to make it 4-0, and then Lawton would make it 4-0. It was a nice pass by Hayes, and just a nice play overall. Lawton wraparound. Goes off of Fowler and in. Lawton has 3 goals in his last 3 games. Zegras had a chance right before that. Flyers just could not get the puck out for a minute or two, and they ended up scoring. And it's so unfortunate with Anaheim, because they're such a... to me, the Ducks are such a fun team, and they have a lot of fun, upcoming players. Zegras, McTavish, Drysdale, all of them other guys. And unfortunately, Drysdale being hurt and everything, but it's just so weird to me how they've taken such a step back. They looked good last year up until around this point, and then completely fell off. They were actually in a playoff spot, actually led the division at one point. Completely fell off, and now they're just kind of in that weird mix of rebuild, basically tanking. As the game would end, the Ducks had a handful of chances, and you thought the Flyers would maybe be able to get Urson the shutout, but unfortunately Strome would score in the slot. It was a nice play by Zegras to get it to him, who was all over it for the Ducks, and Strome, quick shot, goes in. So 4-1 would be the final. But overall, I mean, I'm not gonna let a 5-10 second play kind of sour the victory. I thought overall the Flyers played a good game. Again, 3 games, 3 wins. First time in franchise history they've done that. Who would have thought that the 2022-23 Flyers, out of all the teams that have played this road trip, would sweep it? It's kind of weird, but overall good game. You built off of the Los Angeles game. That was the one thing is they'd win 1 or 2 and then they couldn't really build off of it. But you build off of that. Urson again, strong performance. Frost getting a goal is good. Farabee also getting on the score sheet again. Just a lot of good things overall. Good team win. And the key thing was the second period. I talked about how in the game in LA, I thought they kind of won the game in the second. And this game was more of like they bent but didn't break in the second. And then ended up, winning it in the third. But overall, a good start was what got you the jump in this one. And overall, just a good game. So, yeah, Flyers pick up a 4-1 win over the Ducks. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Also, the watch party coming up January 14th. Also, Happy New Year to everybody watching. Thanks, everybody, for all the support. And, thanks, everybody, so much. I'll talk to you all again soon.
Shot through! He scores!